Hey and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Facundo Pellistri in line for a new bumper deal with the club meeting set for next week. Manchester United have informed Facundo Pellistri of their wish to improve his current contract in an effort to secure his future at Old Trafford. Pellistri arrived at United from Penarol in 2020, but had to wait for more than 2 years to make his senior debut for the Red Devils. The Uruguayan is enjoying a relatively fruitful campaign under Erik Tanhaag and is now an established member of the squad. This term, Pellistri has made 8 appearances for United in all competitions. Most of Pellistri's appearances have come as an impact substitute, where he has impressed. On the 8 occasions the 21-year-old has featured for United, he has contributed 1 assist. The People's Person reported that alongside Anthony Elanga, Pellistri is also penciled in for a loan spell next season. It seems that United are keen to tie down Pellistri to a longer stay, according to Cesar Luis Merlo. Merlo says, "Next week, there will be a meeting between Manchester United and Facundo Pellistri's agent. The club has already let him know that it wants to improve the contract that expires on 2025. The meeting will delve into issues of money and the duration of the new relationship. That United have elected to discuss fresh terms with Pellistri shows just how high the player stands in Ten Hag's estimation. Ten Hag has repeatedly talked up Pellistri and the high potential he possesses. Pellistri himself once divulged that he has his manager's full confidence and that this drives his hunger to succeed and win trophies. Erik Ten Hag to be rewarded with contract extension at Manchester United. Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag is set to be rewarded with a contract extension until 2028 at the Old Trafford side, according to The Sun. The new terms will see the Dutch manager earn £12 million, a £3 million a year pay hike from his existing deal that ends in the summer of 2025. Regardless of the future ownership of the Red Devils, the offer will stay intact. Earlier in the season, the Glazers put the Manchester-based club up for sale. The likes of Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad are the frontrunners to become the new owners. Ten Hag signed was appointed in United's dugout at the end of the previous campaign. The 53-year-old has an encouraging CV, building a great team in Amsterdam with Ajax. The Dutch manager started off his stint in management with Go Ahead Eagles. He also took charge of Bayern München's reserve team before going to Utrecht. At Ajax, the gaffer subsequently made a name for himself. He won multiple titles with his former club and also took the Eredivisie outfit to the Champions League semi-finals in 2019. At United, Ten Hag has managed to steady the ship after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralf Rangnick failed to do so last season. The Dutch manager has brought instant success to the Old Trafford side, winning the Carabao Cup. The 53-year-old has managed to bring the best out of most of the players in the squad. We are also still alive in the FA Cup and the Europa League. Also, our form in the Premier League has been a bit concerning in recent weeks. Hopefully, the gaffer will be able to secure a Champions League spot by the end of the season. Considering the work the former Ajax head coach has done so far at United, it's only fair and wise of the Red Devils to appreciate his value to the team. Erik Ten Hag becoming increasingly impatient with Jadon Sancho. Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag is becoming increasingly impatient with Jadon Sancho as the Dutchman plots a ruthless summer clear-out with many of the first team's stars expected to be sold. Sancho came on as a substitute in United's 2-0 defeat at the hands of Newcastle United on Sunday and had little to no impact. The English winger was constantly outdone in his duels and was barely a threat in the future in what was an all-round poor display from the Red Devils. On his return from exile, Sancho produced promising performances and even contributed with a few goals, but, like many of his teammates, has recently found it hard to be effective. According to the Manchester Evening News, as United braced to receive offers for a number of their players, Sancho is gradually getting on the wrong end of Tanhaag's temperament. Samuel Luckhurst reports United are expected to listen to offers for backup goalkeeper Dean Henderson, while it's understood Tanhaag is becoming increasingly impatient with Jadon Sancho, who has started 5 times in the last 5 months. Erik Tanhaag wants Manchester United to be more ruthless, with a squad clear out as part of the next phase of the rebuild. Harry Maguire, Brandon Williams, Alex Telles, and Anthony Martial will all be made available for transfer, as will Eric Bailly if he fails to hit the appearance milestone to trigger Marseille's obligation to make his loan move permanent. Luckhurst adds, although Newcastle have shown interest in Scott McTominay, United have not provisionally planned for his sale as he is the youngest of their 4 senior central midfielders. United legend criticizes Bruno Fernandez following a Newcastle performance. Manchester United legend Andy Cole has criticized Bruno Fernandes for his constant moaning following Sunday's defeat to Newcastle United. Fernandes played the full 90 minutes in what was a lackluster performance from Erik ten Hag's side. The win for the Magpies saw them jump into third place ahead of United, with Tottenham drew against Everton. Now United are sitting in the fifth place. There has been much said following the defeat, but Andy Cole specifically homed in on the Portuguese Magnifico, slamming him for his constant moaning, which is cropping up game after game. During the first half of the game at St James Park, Bruno Fernandes appealed in his usual manner for a penalty after he thought that Fabian Schär had tripped him up in the box. The referee Stuart Atwell was quick to wave off the appeal, but Fernandez insisted on continuing the process and got right up in the ref's face. Legendary striker Andy Cole spoke about this following the game and wasn't impressed, suggesting that the midfielder was just having another one of his moan-ups. He said, "Nowhere near a penalty. I think as a players we know if it's a penalty or not because his teammates would be supporting him 100%. It's not a penalty, but it's Bruno having another moan up." Rio Ferdinand explains his Fred confusion in Manchester United defeat to Newcastle. Rio Ferdinand has expressed his surprise Fred was left out of Manchester United's starting lineup against Newcastle. Fred came on for only the final 7 minutes plus stoppage time in Manchester United's 2-0 defeat. A midfield of Marcel Sabitzer and Scott McTominay was selected, with Casemiro out suspended. Erik ten Hag did not elaborate on his selection choice after the game. Rio Ferdinand told Five that he was taken aback by Fred being left out against Newcastle. He said he felt the Brazilian was well suited to the game. Ferdinand said, "I was more shocked Fred didn't play in a game like that, understanding what's needed and what's required from this game. Fred has the energy, he has the legs, he has the tenacity. At St. James, you need people that are going to get around, that understand it's a physical game and be up for it. You can criticize Fred all you want, but energy, sacrifice isn't something you can throw at him. They are the things that come with Fred. I was really surprised he didn't start the game." Fred did not feature for Brazil over the international break, and it had been expected that he would be a certainty for the game at Newcastle, who he did feature against as a starter in the Carabao Cup final. It's possible part of the reason Fred did not start was because he was being saved for the 2 upcoming home games against Brentford and then Everton over the next week. Ten Hag may have seen the sharp performances delivered by McTominay and Sabitzer during the internationals and decided to reward them for those, but they didn't effectively step up and rise to the challenge. Manchester United bidders eagerly waiting as fresh fears about the Glazers emerge. Manchester United bidders are eagerly waiting feedback from Rainy Group after second proposals for the takeover of the Red Devils were tabled. Amidst the wait, there are fears that the Glazers could make a dramatic U-turn and refuse to sell up, while citing the ongoing banking crisis as the ultimate reason. The Guardian's Jamie Jackson reports the bidders for Manchester United hope to receive a response to their latest offers this week amid fears from at least one potential buyer that the Glazers will ultimately cite the banking crisis as a reason for not selling. There remains uncertainty regarding the American family's intentions. This has sparked discussions with at least one of the prospective buyers that the six siblings could choose not to sell and claim the banking crisis prevented them from reaching their desired price. Jackson adds, with the cost of borrowing rising, any offer involving debt is becoming more expensive. If this makes Ratcliffe more conservative, the Glazers may not get the bidding war they hoped for and could argue their demands were not met. A sign of the current unstable and tumultuous times in the global financial sector, several mammoth banks have recently fallen and come tumbling down. The People's Person detailed Credit Suisse struggles that led them to be taken over by their biggest competitor, UBS. Last month, Silicon Valley Bank collapsed and triggered the most significant financial crisis since 2008. The £212 billion tech lender abruptly fell to pieces. Jackson details that there is no expectation for an immediate end to United's sale process. BBC's Simon Stone notes that despite these doubts, the leading prospective buyers, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim, remain committed to taking over the reins at Old Trafford. Even if United were to slump and fail to qualify for the Champions League, both Sheikh Jassim and Ratcliffe would remain interested in purchasing the club. As per Stone, both regard the 20-time English champions as a long-term venture and would not be put off by temporary hurdles. Man United handed big boost in signing Jeremy Frimpong as Bayer Leverkusen land replacement. Manchester United have been handed a big boost in signing Bayer Leverkusen star Jeremy Frimpong ahead of the summer transfer window. The Red Devils are firm admirers of the young right back and they have been closely following his progress over the course of the season. United are reportedly considering an approach for him and their pursuit could be boosted by the fact that Leverkusen have signed a replacement. As per Patrick Berger, the Bundesliga outfit are set to land America MG right back Arthur for €7 million when the transfer window reopens. Frimpong has been in sublime form for Leverkusen this campaign. He has bagged 8 goals and 9 assists from 36 appearances for the German club. Aside from his goal involvements, the Dutchman has also excelled defensively. He has won a stunning 6.7 duels and 1.7 tackles per game in the Bundesliga. In our opinion, Frimpong would be a solid upgrade on Diogo Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He is an attacking fullback who also has defensive awareness. He is currently valued at €35 million by Transfermarkt, and in our opinion, United could persuade Leverkusen to sanction his sale for a similar transfer fee. If United were to sign Frimpong this summer, one of Dalot and Wan-Bissaka will be shown the exit door. With talks at an advanced stage with Dalot over a new deal, it seems very likely that Wan-Bissaka could be sold despite his improved defensive displays this year. Man United have initiated negotiations to sign Hussam Aouar on a free transfer. Manchester United have initiated negotiations to sign Lyon midfielder Hussam Aouar on a free transfer, according to Spanish outlet El Chiringuito. The Red Devils have been fancied to sign another creative midfielder, and they have been linked with the likes of Jude Bellingham and Alexis McAllister. However, it's now reported that they are in contact with Aouar, who has entered the final 3 months of his contract with Lyon. Eintracht Frankfurt and Real Betis have also been linked with the 24-year-old, but he is likely to delay his decision until the summer. The Frenchman has his sights on playing Champions League football next season. United signed Christian Eriksen on a free transfer last summer after his impressive stunt with Brentford. There were initially doubts over the move, but the Dane has proved a tremendous acquisition With 2 goals and 9 assists so far, the midfielder could have made many more goal contributions, but he unfortunately picked up a serious ankle injury in late January. Eriksen is set to make his return this month, and he could have a big role to play for the club in their Champions League pursuit. In our opinion, United should repeat the Eriksen trick on Awar. The 24-year-old would be a super bargain signing on a free transfer. The Frenchman has struggled with injuries this campaign, but his overall record for Legons has been impressive since his debut. Over the past 5 years, he has averaged 12 or more goal contributions per season. He could far better with elite players around him. I will be uploading daily Manchester United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.